All right. Well, just want to welcome everybody. Hope everybody's staying safe. Um, I just wanted to make a little introduction video, just a little something to talk about. Just like what is the plan. I mean, have lots of stuff planned, but at the same time, I feel like I don't know. It's kind of sometimes when I think about it, it's overwhelming about all the stuff I want to do. But at the same time, I should, just do it. So, just want to introduce the channel. Something is just very new for all of us. I've never done this before. Um, Recording videos is definitely one thing, but actually making something out of it and making it into some type of content or something is a completely different, ballpark right there for me especially. But again, this is just an introduction video. So let's do a proper introduction and let's just show everything we have and what's to come and what the plan is. And I'm pretty excited to see what's gonna go on with it. It's definitely gonna be something, a new experience for me. I'm sure some people may be regular stuff for them, but it's definitely something. It's a new field for me, and I would like to say that I would really hope that it definitely I make some type of progress. I guess that's what I'd hope. But I just decided to do this because there's nothing else better to do with my time. We're in the middle of a pandemic. It's crazy. I just really hope to be able to grow my knowledge on what I'm doing, be able to share what I'm doing, be able to, share the same passion that I have for cars and anything with a motor on it, four or two wheels. I just, I really like it all, and I just really hope to share this passion. Like, that's probably my main goal. But enough chit chat. I just want to show what we're going to be doing with, what we're going to be working with, and what's to come. And I'm really hoping that it's going to be pretty great. I think it will, as long as we just get some good support, and it'll all be possible because of you guys that are willing to support. So over here, we have my lovely 2002 Audi A4 Avant. The story behind this car is actually quite interesting. This car's had some work done to it. I've done a couple of things. New tranny mount from 034 Motorsport. Replaced the motor mount, a rear axle seal. Did the front brakes on it. Just standard replacement. Put a full 2.5 inch all catback exhaust to a 2.5 inch Tektronix tuning downpipe. Nice exhaust right there. Body's a little rough. The car was abandoned, and I've had it for probably about a half a year so far. It's on a stage 1+ tune. Just has an upgraded diverter valve. The rest of the car is just pretty much stock. 5-speed manual. But this car is definitely a project itself. But it should come together very nicely. Alright. Moving on next. This here is my 2001 Volkswagen Golf. But yeah, it's a very interesting story behind this car as well. It's definitely a nice car. Very nice, clean, stock interior, if you can see through it. Pollen is very high out here today. I'm dying of allergies. It's actually a field over here, just like weeds and stuff. It's just a garden that's never used, so it's just makes it even worse in this tree. But this car had the 2.0 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, basically also known as the too slow engine that you basically don't want to get. It has like no power. It's pretty junky, but it's reliable. I mean, maintenance wise, they're pretty straightforward, and I've seen a lot of people get good life out of them, so they could be a good car. But the owner that had this car before me, he had other plans. He was probably not satisfied, so he did a full GTI swap in this car, and those came with the 1.8 turbo. They had their 1.8 turbo engines, 4-cylinder, and those things can be modified a lot. They are very fun, but can be somewhat annoying as well. The Audi Avant also has the 1.8 turbo in it. This car is on a Revo Stage 3, but it doesn't have the proper supporting mods in order to make the tune work. It runs and drives. I've had this car for about a week or so now, maybe 2 weeks. She is going to need some work. As you can see, this wheel, if you can see it from the right angle, you see it's very not straight. Basically, you see it's tilted. If you look at it from the top, you might see it. You see it's basically not flush. That's a no-no. That's gonna have to get fixed immediately. Alright, so really quickly, as you can see, we have twins here. This one is not an Audi S4. It's just a Ricer badge. It is a 1.8T indeed. This one is also another Dolphin Gray. As you can see as I walk up closer, it is crashed. This one was my first car. It was not crashed by me. It was my first car. Dailied it every day. Bought it as soon as I graduated high school. Was super happy about the car. Very nice car. Besides that one problem, as you can see in the transmission there, that was a big mistake with those coming with that from the factory because they suck. This one I had for a couple months. I had another Volkswagen. I sold that car and bought this one right after in hopes of just dailying it and working on my Avant. But that didn't really go as planned, and I ended up eventually just finding the Volkswagen that I have now. So now this car is just taking up space, and she's got to go. This car has got to go. If you're looking for a nice running and driving stick shift Audi A4 1.8 turbo, hit me up, please. This car I was gonna daily, but like I said, I just didn't. I ended up getting a better car. It runs and drives really nice. It does need some work. Coolant flange on it, very typical thing to go on these cars. It sucks. Radiator fan doesn't turn on. Could be something like a relay or just the whole fan itself, who even knows. But other than that, car runs and drives really nice. Very nice cars. These won't really be featured as much. Probably this car. This one I plan to rip the motor out of and keep it, and the interior bits and pieces are definitely gonna go, so I will be disassembling all of that. If I pop the engine, you'll see pretty much everything is taken apart in it. I've already taken a lot off of it. It's really in pieces. The motor itself is still there. You see the alternator and stuff is taken off. Had to get to the thermostat down under there. Took it off, threw it on my wagon. Works like a dream. You see, right now I've got this ECU out and the other ECU out of the car. I'm getting them reprogrammed for some stuff. Gotta ship those out pretty soon. The turbo's still in the car. Turbo is still good. Very good turbo. KO3 turbos are very good. Very tiny, but for their size, they work good. So, it is the parts car. This one we're mostly just going to be disassembling. It's already taken a lot of stuff off of it. And then this car I'm just trying to get rid of. Probably only recorded leaving because I need it to go. I'm tired of this thing just taking up space. So right now we're just going to be taking a little cruise around. Stage 1 Plus really wakes it up. It just feels like what the car should have been from the factory. Got some construction going on. God knows what the hell these people are doing. This car is very fun to drive. It really goes when you want it to. fixed. That was a pretty interesting highway rip. The car felt good. This car definitely gets up to speed. I really forgot how much this tune really wakes up the car. It's low end lag though, it's very bad though. Like you really don't feel it get up to speed. You really don't feel it get up to speed to around closer to like 4K RPM. I mean, the car does have a boost leak and a couple of things here and there that are wrong, but I'm pretty sure if I do fix the boost leak, it would get into power a lot better, smoother at least. Sometimes the car feels like it's like all over the place, power-wise. Like it feels like it wants to go. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it wants to go. Yeah, you see, when I'm just cruising, this car makes comfortable daily. Myself. The exhaust doesn't drone a lot. It does have the mufflers deleted from it, but on deceleration it definitely does drone a lot, but not bad. Pretty quiet in the car, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just cruising it in fifth right now, and it's just going. This is also a nice road to do a rip on. This guy's not even in his lane. Here we are, right back to where we started. Right now, probably gonna try to set up the camera to do some downhill rips of the D-cell. Definitely gonna set the camera up by the exhaust. Just recording that audio clip for the exhaust. The phone fell because I'm recording on an old iPhone and it fucked up the screen. Holy God. Wow. Wasn't expecting all that. Hit a pretty big pothole. Didn't expect to. And then yeah, you can guess what happened right after. Phone fell. It basically is fucked right now. I'll probably see if I could get a two-step clip for you guys and give the car a launch. Right now I'm just getting the car set up and we'll see. all that's done is just the diverter valve, and this is what I got out from just upgrading my diverter valve. So I mean, I can't complain. Not as spectacular as I wish it would be, but I mean, for what it is, I can't complain. Alright guys, we're back now. My spot. Now I'm just gonna really talk about the history behind my cars. Well, to start in order, I had the crashed parts car, Audi A4 first. I was just looking for a car, found it on Craigslist. I didn't know what I want, but then I came across the 1.8T. I always knew about the 1.8T, just never really actually knew about them. I just heard of them. And I just thought, oh, Audi 1.8T has a turbo on it. I heard that they're pretty good. Can't be that bad, right? Boy, was I wrong. I had very little experience working on cars or with cars in general. Very little experience on what it's like maintaining one and owning one of your own. The car definitely taught me a lot about what it's like owning a car. It definitely was a learning experience. It was very expensive because, you know, for a lot of things I could have done myself, I didn't, which I wish I did, but I just didn't have the confidence or the knowledge at the time. I had that car for about a year or so before it crashed. Then it crashed, and I had to just part ways with it. I mean, I still have it. I eventually do want to get rid of it completely. I have to. It's just taking up space as well. Then the B6 Avant, that car came when I still had the automatic Audi running and driving. I was still dailying the car, and I found this one. I found it for sale on Facebook. It was for sale about $1,800, and the description was just a smiley face, and I was just like kind of weirded out. I mean, I didn't know what to think of it. My friend actually sent it to me. Shout out to him for finding me the car. It's been a really great car. And I got in contact with the guy. He was just like, yeah, it's at a shop. Just contact us at any time about the car, and ask for Vinny. I called and asked, and like at first, like he was like, nah, he's not around. Then I tried to call. I just kept calling them and calling them. They wouldn't even get back to me. I just keep trying to inquire about the car. And I was just like, yo, man, I'm really interested. Can I come down, come look at it, negotiate a price or something? So I went out about a half hour upstate, went and looked at the car, kind of test drove it. I mean, I drove it around the block, but that's not really a test drive. Not enough to really trip any codes or anything if the car were to have any, or you know, really find any problems by just taking it for a spin around the block. I started it up. The car did drive fine and clunked a lot on shift or like on deceleration. You could tell it had a bad mount somewhere. Something was bad mount wise or suspension wise. The guy did tell me it had a new clutch in it, that they put a new clutch in, but honestly, I don't really think the car has a new clutch in it, if I really had to be honest. I mean, I did look at the paperwork. The car did have it done a couple years ago. But besides that, the story behind that car as well was that they had a customer who actually owned the car. It was a guy, and he unfortunately passed away of cancer. And when he passed away, his wife, she really couldn't drive the car because it was a stick shift car, and she just had difficulty, you know, trying to learn it and drive the car. So, and basically she traded them the car for another car. They gave her a Honda Accord, and so the shop did tell me the truth. They only told half the truth. Basically, they forgot to leave out the part that when they traded her the car, that it ended up being a junky Honda that they sold her. And this car is, you know, is perfectly running and driving, you know, minus its few minor issues. And she was just going through a lot. We actually ended up getting in contact with her, and she just kept on asking about how much we paid for the car, and like, you know, she just wanted to know what happened to the car. And I didn't directly speak to her. Somebody else spoke to her. And basically they just, I don't know, they just stopped contacting her and blocked her number because they thought that she was going to try to find some way to get the car back. And we were like, you know, kind of scared because of her reaction, but at the same time, I did feel bad. She was going through a lot. And to this day, I would like to actually contact her and let her know that the car is in good hands, because the car was pretty rough when I got it. Needed a lot of work, and it came a long way, but still has a long way to go. But it just sucks that that's what it was. That the shop basically, you know, finessed her for a car. Then we have my 2003 Audi A4 sedan that had the S4 badge on it. Story behind that car is not really much to it. I had a 2003 Volkswagen Golf GT, or excuse me, a Volkswagen GTI that was gifted to me by a relative. He was actually the one that really actually got me into the scene. He really opened my interest for cars. That I always had some type of interest, but he definitely took my curiosity to the next level. He had that Volkswagen in the family, and then he just gave it to me before he got deployed away. And then the car, it was fun. It was very fast, full bolt-on, custom dyno tune. Didn't really have any action with that car because I don't know, I kind of wish I spent more time with the car. But basically, long story short, I just sold it, and then I used that money to buy the Audi A4, which I would say I regret. I kind of wish I still had the Volkswagen. If I had to pick between the two, I would take the Volkswagen. And the plan with this car was just to daily it. I just wanted to daily it, not really do much with it, and just work on the Audi wagon. Really focus on that car, but I just wasn't really able to, and I just never really drove the car or anything. I just kept continuing driving the wagon. Now I'm just trying to look to get rid of it, because I can't deal with having, you know, all the space taken up by something I'm not using. And it's not even my space that the car is in, so, you know, the guy wants it gone. He just wants it out of there, because he knows that I don't use the car. He just, you know, he knows it's taking up space at this point. So anyways, now on to the highlight, the 2001 Volkswagen Golf. That car was definitely an interesting car. I knew about the car through someone I know personally. He bought the car about, I would say, so yeah, basically I knew about the car through a personal friend of mine. He got the car about around 2016, 2017. He got it off someone he's selling the car. That guy was the person who did the full 1.8T swap, the full this and that. He like went all out with the car, the big turbo and everything, and then basically I had it on it. I saw it when he first had it, but the turbo was blown at the time. He did, the guy that had the car, he did the full suspension, full solid axles, the LSD, full swap. He did the full everything, professionally done too. Like, it looks really clean, really, you know, solid. Then the person that I know got a hold of the car. He had it. He didn't even drive the car. It just sat in his backyard. He just polished it, returned it back to stock, and he probably just took it for a spin around the block every once in a while. He let a relative of his drive the car for a little bit, but he didn't even like the car. I was like, how could you not like this car? So I was always like, I always tried to get him to sell it to me when I was looking for a car, and that when he did sell it, I was not looking for a car, so I was just like, well, looks like I basically asked out. I messed up, and I didn't even know he was gonna sell it, but he ended up selling it after he returned it all to stock. The car still ran and drove. Never got a retune. That's the main problem. Put the stock turbo back on, stock intake pipe back on, stock diverter valve, just everything. They think the car even had an intercooler on it. He basically, all the mods he took off, he sold it for money and used that. He already had parts of his own that he used to return the car back to factory. He was just like, he liked it like that. I mean, I can't blame you. Cars from the factory, they're made to be a certain way, not altered, and that's the best you could really get from factory. Then he sold the car to a family friend of his, and I started having the overheating issue with the Audi, and at first I was thinking I might have a cracked cylinder head or something, but you know, that was just like worst case scenario. So I just started looking for cars and scrolling through I'm always scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. That's how I find my stuff. I find it, and then I was just scrolling through, and then my friend was also helping me search, and it was weird. Like, he just showed me a bunch of these Volkswagen Mark IV GTIs for sale. Then I saw that specific one, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, this car looks an awful lot familiar. Like, this car looks really, really familiar. And I'm looking at it. The second I saw the rear end of it with the ugly wing, I was like, holy shit, it's for sale. Like, wow. I was like, I gotta get on it. I cannot let this car go this time. Like, I got in contact with the guy. He ended up living really close to me. Really cool guy. He had a brand new stuff for the car. Like, he had some mods that he wanted to put on. He was selling with the car. It was a brand new turbo, intercooler, and a downpipe. And he was selling the car for, he was actually a pretty steep price for the car because he was selling it with the mods and stuff. I negotiated him down to a certain price, and then I just was gonna give him the rest whenever I could, because I was like, I need to have this car. Like, I was like, I gotta have it, because I was getting rid of I'm still getting rid of the Audi, no matter what, the sedan. That car is, I just don't want it. Basically, and then he had the car parked on the street and everything, and like, it was just sitting, everything was fine, and then, you know, one day he just calls me, and he tells me somebody hit the car, and he showed me the pictures. I looked at it, and like, I was happy. Not at least no body damage. Body damage, in my opinion, is definitely annoying to deal with. So, yeah, the guy showed me the damage. I looked at it. We negotiated a even lower price. Ended up taking the car the next week. And the car was still actually able to drive. I should have drove it, but it was only about a 4-minute drive from my house, from where he was. So, he was supposed to move the car and ended up getting hit. Gave him the money, drove the car home, and now it's just been sitting, and it's been about 2 weeks. That car is gonna have a lot of stuff coming for it, and the wagon as well is definitely gonna have some goodies coming for her too. So with that being said, we're definitely gonna have a lot of stuff to come for this channel. Definitely is gonna take time to record all this and get it all out there and whatnot, but it'll get done. Definitely gonna have time. I am still in school, still finishing our semester up, so, but once that's over in a couple weeks, we'll be free. I'll just be full on with this, especially in a time like this. You know, as you know, just about everybody lost their job, or they're laid off for now until this whole ends, and who knows when this is gonna end. So I literally have nothing to do with my time. This is why we're even here right now. So, you know, hopefully we get the support we need. Hopefully everything goes well. And I'm really just hoping it all comes together, because if it really does, it would be such a blessing. Because, you know, I really just want to make this, you know, something that I'm able to share. And definitely share this. Like, I'm very excited about it, definitely looking forward to it, but also a little nervous. I'm really counting on the support. And with that being said, I really hope that this all comes together. Again, welcome to my channel, and this is our journey starting right here, so let's make it happen. I just want to thank you all, and I just hope you guys stay safe. But be safe and take care. And I really look forward to you guys' support and you guys coming along with me in this journey. And I thank you all very much. And just be alright. That was a very bad outro. I fucked that up. We're gonna have to cut this out.